Hey guys, it's not Cody again, so I know that you're really wishing that I would just go away and Cody would come back, but you'll have to deal with me for just a little bit, but I promise it's probably the last time that you'll ever have to deal with me again. So let's celebrate the fact that you never have to hear this guy gawking about stuff. So this week I'm going to be sounding off about expansions versus DLC, because we've had an interesting development. Now, CD Projekt, the guys that are making The Witcher, which is going to hit shelves next month in May, they have already announced that there are going to be 2 additional pieces of content coming for The Witcher, and this isn't the free DLC that they've been promising. That stuff is still in the works. That's happening. What's happening now is that they've announced that there are going to be 2 massive expansions, and by expansion I mean harken your mind back to the 90s. It's like when PC gaming was it's like still where the glorious PC master gaming race was enjoying all the stuff that console guys didn't get, and they had things called expansions, which usually for slightly less than the price of a full retail game, you would get a big meaty piece of gameplay that expanded, and that's where we get the word from, on it's like the original premise of the first games. Now, because they weren't full-blown sequels, this usually meant that you didn't get a completely it's like new storyline and completely different environments and completely different mechanics and completely different graphics the way that you would expect going from one sequel to the next. Instead, they usually use the same existing engine and just gave you like a new storyline which would follow up on whatever happened in the previous game. Now, CD Projekt has announced that they're doing this for The Witcher 3. The first bit, which is going to be coming out this October, is going to be 10 hours in length. Then they've got a second bit, which is going to be opening up a completely new area. That's going to be coming out in 2016, and that one is going to be something like 20 hours in length. Now, this is an extremely massive, it's like extra amount of gameplay. It's like definitely a big difference between this and what you would get with normal DLC that people expect with games these days, where you'll buy it and if you're lucky you'll get maybe like 4 extra hours of gameplay. This really does feel like we're adding like almost a new game for you to play. We're not using a new graphics engine or anything like that, but we're going to give you a whole chunk of additional content for it's like the money that we're asking, and it's like it is going to cost you guys money, at least in this case. And I really think that the other publishers should look at what CD Projekt is doing and rethink this whole idea of downloadable content, because expansions back in the day really made you feel like the studio was actually looking out for you. They wanted to give you something that it's like made you feel like you got a bargain, because they were never asking you to pay the full retail price of a brand new game. So whenever you bought these things, which usually back in the day ran anywhere between like $20 and $40, you always felt at the end of it's like, that was such a massive chunk of game, I actually feel like I got more than my money's worth. Most people don't do that these days. CD Projekt, for whatever crazy reason, is deciding that they kind of want to revive this way of thinking and this kind of customer-centric approach to the way that they make their products. So I would say to Microsoft and it's like Sony and it's like even the guys that still make games for PCs like EA, really look at what CD Projekt is doing. Look at the positive response that the public, the gamers are giving to this, and like think about doing something like that yourselves, because when you're that nice to the gamers, it's like it really generates a lot of loyalty and a lot of goodwill, and that always translates into the dollars, which is what it's all about for you guys, right? So you guys, expansions, not DLC. Give it a serious think. See ya.